I'm Dr. Bart Rademacher, and this is the Doctor's Guide podcast. And what I want to share with you right away is before I introduce these really awesome, cool guests of mine, is the purpose of the show. You see, I've been in the medical field for a very long time. I actually trained for about 17 years. And what I find is that there's so much content out there on the internet and everywhere else. How do you get to filter out through all that information? Because sometimes, the context is not appropriate with that content. And so the problem that we have today is that there's so many people out there, so much information, so many influencers. How do you get to decide? So I don't know your particular or unique situation. I don't know who you are. But one thing I do know, there is an intelligent process to filter out through all the information so that you can make the right decisions for yourself. And what better way to do that is through role play. And so today we get to role play with some really cool people, one from down under. You don't know what that is. That's in Australia. And then another one from London. And so they're going to take roles and what happens in real time. You could probably relate in some sort of way the role playing that they are going to perform. And so one is going to show up with a problem and the other one is going to help with a solution. And so the idea for this podcast, the Doctor's Guide, my purpose is always to curate, educate, and guide both doctors and my patients to start making the right decisions, not telling them what to do, but helping them decide what's appropriate for them. And through this process, my hope is that you get to learn a process to help you make the best decisions for yourself. And so we're going to first start with introductions with Anastasia and Pooja, and then we're just going to dive in. Anastasia, you're first because I know you for such a long time, and for me, you are a superstar.
Thank you, Dr. Bart. My name is Anastasia. I'm a results coach and also a Tony Robbins trainer. And I basically get anybody to the results that they're seeking. Yet today I'm from Sydney, Australia. Now you know what down under means. And today I'm role-playing the role of the mother of a child who's got a diabetes, which is Pooja.
Right. Awesome. And you know what? Those people down under a Tony Robbins event called Leadership. And if anybody doesn't know about leadership, definitely something you want to check out because it's one of the most powerful, seminars that you can learn how to master yourself. Pooja, your turn.
Hi, Dr. Bart. Thank you so much for the introduction. So my name is Pooja Radia. I'm a Kenyan Indian. So I'm Indian, but raised in Kenya, East Africa. I've moved back to London for a couple of years. I've been working in banking and I'm sort of transitioning into some leadership roles. I'm a Tony Robbins leadership trainee, if I may say. And just like Dr. Bart said, it's absolutely amazing. You must take it up if you've never considered it. Just look into it and I'm sure you'll get pulled into it. It's amazing. I'm also a type 1 diabetic, also living with various autoimmune conditions. So I'm an experiencee, if I may call that, if that's a word, of living with these conditions on a day-to-day basis for several years and incorporating them into my day-to-day life. I'm also a brand ambassador for a diabetes support group called Diabetes 2020. You can find us on Instagram. And yeah, you can reach out to me whenever you want.
And who better to teach us about diabetes than someone who's successfully mastered that, in the best possible way. And we're going to find out a lot more from Pooja. All right, Anastasia, you're the mom. I can see you being the mom. So let's go for it. You got 6 minutes.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, Mom. How are you? How is your day?
Oh, sweetheart, I was worrying sick about you. How are you feeling, sweetheart?
Oh, I have this really bad cold. I've been struggling a little bit today. I've been coughing and just, a little bit inflamed, but I'm great otherwise. I mean, I'm doing great. It's just part and parcel.
What do you mean great? Pooja, with your condition, you just can't run around with a cough. You need to see a doctor immediately.
No, I think it's just, this overwhelm of probably poor eating habits. I'm probably eating a bit of junk on the weekend, sleeping a bit too little, getting up and down, socializing with people. I don't think it's anything major. I think it's just my body detoxifying and releasing this, acidic stuff.
You're not a doctor, sweetheart. You need to go and see a professional immediately. You know how dangerous it is.
Oh, I know. I understand that. It can be dangerous, but I think I've learned to understand as well. If I drink like my celery juice or lime water, I feel great. I mean, once I drink my lime water, I've just woken up. I'm gonna feel fabulous. I'm gonna have that first. I haven't had celery in a few days. I think I'm just gonna load up on 2 glasses of it. So I think it'll really help alkalize the body. And trust me, it'll get rid of all this like congestion and it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure.
Pooja, you should be loading yourself on medication. Does your dad know that you're running around with your diabetes, with your all of your conditions and a cough? How dangerous it is?
I know. I'm sorry you guys are worried, but trust me on this one. I got this. I promise. Like, don't tell dad. He doesn't need to worry. I got this one. You should try it sometime. Also, if I take lots of vitamin, especially the liposomal vitamin C, like it really helps me, and zinc. So I feel like if I do those 3 things, and I'll rest, I'll take it easy. So I won't run around. I think that's ideal. I think running around will definitely make me feel worse. I think I'll just listen to my body. It's feeling a bit run down, so I'm definitely going to rest, take it easy. But I think I'll avoid the doctor because I think once I drink a lot of water, maybe fast. I think I might fast and just eat some fruits today because fruits also help really calm the body down. And I think they say I've read somewhere like when sometimes when your body has like a fever, you lose your appetite. And when I did my Tony Robbins program, they were like, I learned from there that when you lose your appetite, sometimes your body is actually telling you that it wants to focus on releasing the toxins, with a cold or whatever, like through your mucousy, sinusy stuff, like, the congestion. It doesn't want to focus on the digestive side of things. So I think I'm just going to go easy. I'll listen to my body. If I feel hungry, I'll have something like steamed veg or like some broccoli and potatoes. I have it all in the fridge. I'll stock it up. I'll have it. Some avocado, maybe something light. I'll just listen.
So, Pooja, let me understand you, sweetheart. Are you trying to tell me that your own body knows better than a professional doctor with a degree what you need?
Yeah, I mean, professional doctors with degrees are amazing, but I think that sometimes we know our body better than anyone else because, like, how do they know sometimes what exactly we're feeling? Because if we listen, I think we should work alongside doctors. And of course, if I feel worse and the symptoms are not going with all of this, I would consider perhaps going to the doctor and getting it checked out and then seeing if there's some bacterial thing and then taking steps as I need them. But I think sometimes we have to learn to listen to our body because a lot of these things are just simply just a crazy hectic lifestyle. You're waking up, you're on the go, and that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. I mean, I woke up and on the weekend I was just busy meeting friends for brunch and I was eating all this crazy stuff. Like, the body really likes like light and simple food. And I think, what's really surprising, Mom, I've really noticed that like when I eat like simple foods, like more like with less additives or preservatives or less like processed stuff, my body feels great. I can eat less of it and have way more energy. I promise you. Like sometimes it's like, and even the celery juice in itself gives me so much energy. Or like sometimes I even use like the, chaga mushroom, like teas and like those kind of things with hot water. That really helps me as well. Like I love it. I mean, I try so many things. When you visit, I'm going to show you and I'm going to have you try some of this stuff.
Pooja,
You should definitely try
Let's
it.
wrap it up in 30 seconds, guys.
And Pooja, you are my only daughter. What the doctor would say if he heard your answers?
Ooh, well, maybe the doctor might be concerned, but I think if he hasn't tried it, he's not going to know if it works. I think sometimes I think a naturopath would definitely approve of this, or a nutritionist perhaps, or Anthony William, maybe from Medical Medium. But I think, I think some doctors, they know, I think, and one of my doctors actually, surprisingly, when I went to see him, I remember when I kept going in, you remember when I was in and out of hospital, I remember telling him I'd heard of the celery juice person. And he told me, he said, look, I don't know anything about it, but my wife's friend, it really changed her life. She vows by it. So if it's going to help you, I think he's run out of solutions for me. So if I go, he's probably going to say it's nothing. It's just probably a viral bug and he'll send me home. So I might as well kill this virus myself.
Sweetheart,
Right.
you're
There's
so
antibiotics for
smart.
it.
I love you,
very
sweetheart.
good.
Thank you. Love you.
Awesome.
And I promise I'll be fine.
All right, Anastasia, you go first. What was that about for you? Who was showing up, and what were your concerns that you want people to know about?
So what was going on for me that, like it's important to trust, a person who actually has this disease and who is listening to their body. And when they intuitively trust their intuition a lot more than trusting to somebody who even has a degree, but never experienced such a thing.
Okay. Pooja, what's going on in your head? Let's unpack you.
I think Anastasia's hit the nail on the head. Often living with a condition like this, it's very hard to get people to understand what you're going through. And also we're often constrained by doctors in a limited sort of, and with all due respect, they mean well because that's what you've been taught and what you've studied and, experienced through all your studies and, knowledge and investigations. However, as a patient living it, it's a very different experience. And often we have to experiment and try different things, and each day has a different outcome. So you kind of have to just be open to trying something new, seeing how your body reacts on a day-to-day basis, seeing each day as it comes, taking each day as it comes, and then taking it from there. Like obviously, if it doesn't work, you work alongside doctors. I think it's an integrative approach as opposed to just a one-sided approach, if you know what I mean. There's a couple of different things you have to try.
Well, let me
And
ask.
but just 20 seconds, what I wanted to say, what came from me from that segment, that doctors are trained to see what's wrong. They are not trained to see what's right and, actually build on what's right with your body. What is the greatness coming from that condition. Usually they try to see what's wrong and give the medication and overload the toxins. So what was really coming up to me, that Pooja was so smart to actually listen to her body and, just trying. If it works, she keeps it. If she doesn't, she doesn't. But she is in charge.
Yeah, right. Treating the symptom versus treating the root versus the symptom. Because often in medical school,
Pooja, hang on a second. We'll get into that in a moment because that's a really important part. But I want to go back to Anastasia for a moment because she illustrates first one of the biggest issues that I see oftentimes, and that is the parents in this particular case, but also family members, friends, and everyone else overpowering the person that's actually having the issue, but also overpowering them in a sense of, no, just do what someone else tells you to do versus what it is that you're doing. And I think, that's a really important aspect. And I think Anastasia, showed that brilliantly because that's what happens all the time. And oftentimes on the receiving end, what's happening is, well, you don't want to upset that person. You don't want to reject that person. So you're just going to follow along, besides the fact that you really don't know very much. And so, yeah, what if they are right? And I, unfortunately, that happens way too often, that you get forced into doing stuff that you really don't want to do. And Pooja, you played really well, and I want to get into that in a second. But would you agree, Anastasia? I mean, is that what you were trying to convey to people?
It's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. And so what I love about what you did, Pooja, and my question first, when you take 100 diabetics with your condition, how many would you say are navigating that the way that you do?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I would say maybe I wouldn't even know. I'd say less than 10%.
I would
Because
have to
I'm a
agree
type
with that.
1. I'm a type 1. So type 1s we're programmed to also believe, by the way, Dr. Bart, and I'm sure you know that from medical school, that there's absolutely no cure to this condition. I mean, I'm told by everyone there's no cure. And I believe in my heart and soul that you can cure it. And I've noticed with my own nutritional habits, at least, that my blood sugars are better maintenance with certain things like this.
Well, I totally agree with you. I think Anastasia wants to chime in. Did you want to say
Well,
something?
I just wanted to say something that I'm supposed to be diabetic because all my family are diabetic, including my dad, my grandmother. So I have all the prepositions to be. My dad is convincing me that it's genetics, that I should be checking my blood type and everything. But after my nan passed away, I went completely into, holistic eating, bodybuilding, training. So I'm 46 years old this October, and my sugar levels are awesome and everything else is awesome. So it's a catch-22. Yes, I'm presupposed to, but the lifestyle went against it.
Well, the truth is, in here in the United States, the prediction is that 60%, of the American population is either diabetic or pre-diabetic. Now that's type 2, it's not type 1. And it's all environmental. So you're absolutely right. And watch out if I get canceled, because I'm agreeing with Pooja right? That I think you're right. And in my opinion, most, if not, well, most diseases or illnesses are reversible. We just haven't figured out how to reverse them. So Pooja, tell me a little bit about how you have been navigating it, what's been working for you, because we've got the first insight. That's the role that Anastasia played, that people are trying to get you to do things and not take responsibility for yourself, because that's the easy path. But now we're dealing with a discipline that perhaps isn't in tune with an individual.
Yes. So it's been quite interesting. It's been an interesting journey for me. When I first became diabetic, I was obviously put in that box that this is what you have to do for the rest of your life. It's never going to change. If you don't do it, you're going to develop these complications. If you don't do it and you take too much insulin, you might faint or have hypo. And I've experienced it all. However, not the complications, touch wood, yet. However, I've been quite, from that young age, I've never believed that I need to accept what I'm told. I've always wanted to think outside the box. Like I was telling her, Mom, don't worry. The first thing I've always believed that in this life of mine, there is going to be a cure for this condition. I do not believe the way science is advanced and, nutritional experiment, all these different therapies and things that we're trying. I don't believe that there isn't going to be a cure for this. I think there's a cure for everything. And you can also listen to your body. And I believe that this particular type 1, taking insulin, taking maybe metformin too, which I have to take to prevent insulin resistance after so many years. I've been diabetic type 1 for 25 years. It's basically treating the symptom, not the cause. So there is a cause, and they say it's sometimes genetically predisposition. Your DNA, something triggers it. Often it's a virus or something. We don't know what it is. Science is looking into it. However, there are different things that I've read, nutritional therapies. There are doctors out there, some in the United States who've tried various things. I have a friend of mine who was saying that there's something called iridology, where you can read the iris, and from there they give you like a nutritional program, and that's has supposedly cured some people's type 1. However, if you don't try, you don't know. So I've been very open to trying. One thing I've looked at for my condition from day one is it's a blessing. It's always mind over matter. The mindset matters more than anything else, even with your discipline. So rather than taking it as, oh, damn, I have to be disciplined, I view it as, oh, yes, I have to be disciplined. It's made me very responsible. It's been a blessing in my life. I've looked at my dietary habits, my hydration habits, my mindset habits. Like, I've gone into, like, from a very young age, it's taken me down a self-development journey, growth journey, mindset. So, it's helped me a lot. And when I look at my food, it's a lot healthier. So it's made me have a lot more energy compared to people my age. When I compare myself, they all are struggling because they're like worried about their weight and their training and stuff, but they can't resist that, glass of wine or that couple of shots of vodka or tequila, whereas someone like me is like, no, I can't do it. It's a great thing because it's a risk to me. And that risk is becoming a blessing for me because it's helping me be healthier. It gives me more energy. I do have ups and downs. However, I feel that this particular lifestyle has been great. I have tried a lot of things. I find like several diets. I've tried metabolic diets. I've taken myself off carbohydrates, and each one has helped along the way. So growing up, I'm an Indian. So in Indian culture, we eat a lot of carbohydrates, by the way. No wonder a lot of Gujarati Indians are diabetics, type 2s especially. We have a lot of sugar in our food, and we have a lot of grains. And so I've slowly weaned myself off the grains because I was through various nutritionists and naturopaths, they weaned me off. And then I started eating more vegetables, salads. I found that the blood sugar balance was better. I'd eat like potatoes, sweet potatoes as carbs, because you need a little bit of sugar, a little bit of energy. And then I'd have some fruits maybe. So yeah, I've worked on that.
So
and now I find the juicing helps too. So
now we're only about 5 minutes left. So I want you to share one very specific insight and one action step that you feel is appropriate for people to take. Pooja, you first.
I think one thing is changing your focus on what you have in front of you. If you're experiencing a condition, and I don't want to say, suffering, because I don't believe it's a suffering. I believe it's an experience. If you're experiencing a medical condition, look at it as a blessing. look at it as, how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What can I learn? What can I grow? And take control of it. Wear it as a badge of honor. Say, what can I do to change it? You know, read about things, hear about things, and try a more alkaline lifestyle, which is going into fruits, vegetables, and hydration more. I feel like it really helps.
Great. Anastasia, one insight and one action step.
One insight. First of all, rather than going and asking someone else, why don't you ask your own body? There are a lot of studies on metaphysical causes and diseases. Even if it's hereditary, yet there is still a lot of diseases that are related to your condition, such as cancer is often related to unforgiveness or being unable to forgive. Like women with breast cancer, it's usually when they have hatredness or judgment or being unable to forgive men. Prostate cancer in men related to unforgiveness men. So in Louise Hay book, Love Your Body, and it's like encyclopedia of metaphysical causes. Look at that and ask your body, for example, what does it teach me? The quality of your questions will determine the quality of your answers. Right. And go on a journey of rediscovering what is a blessing, what is a gift in the current condition. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice.
So both of these are great insights. And for the listener, what I really want you to focus on is simply this, is that everything is a choice. And I think it was Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. He says, the last freedom of man is to choose how you feel in any given situation. So you've got that choice. The challenge, of course, is the algorithms, the programming that you've gotten over the years, your environment, everybody else trying to push you one way or another. But just like Pooja showed us, I mean, she states that she's out of the box. And for me, actually, I don't have a box. And so, again, it's a matter of you get to choose. And just like Anastasia is saying, I mean, suffering is a choice, too. So you don't have to suffer. You may not think it's a blessing, but at some point, you know, with personal growth, your worst times actually become your best times. But the best thing that you can do is find the right people that will support you through that process. And both these cool people, you've gone to Tony Robbins. So if that's any indication as to what you could do, check out Tony Robbins. There's some other amazing people. Joe Dispenza is one, and there's so many others. But you are in control of your life. And if you're not controlling your life, somebody else is, and that's not going to serve you in the best possible way. So Anastasia, 1 minute just to give us last words and how people can get a hold of you, and then we'll go with Pooja.
You can get a hold of me via my website, which is anastasiacortez.com. So Bart will just put it like on a screen, and also via Instagram. I'm very responsive, and I'm here to serve. I'm here to help.
Awesome. Pooja?
So you can get a hold of me via Instagram or Facebook, Pooja Radia. It's very easy, PWJARADIA, and you'll find me there. And I'm also here to help and serve and be there for support for any of you.
And you've also got the diabetes program that people can find you. Yes.
Yeah, you can find me on diabetes too. You can listen to some of our other talks there, so it'd be great. You get more of an insight on diabetes and how we manage it through various other patients too. And you'll definitely find me on there too. And sorry.
Yeah. Go, Pooja.
Saying you could, it will be an easy platform to connect with me from there too.
Excellent.
And I just wanted to wrap it up with one phrase: your vibe attracts your tribe. So surround yourself with people who you're vibing with.
I 100% agree.
I've attracted you two cool people. My name is Dr. Bart Rademacher, the Doctor's Guide, curating, educating, and guiding you with all the processes and resources out there that can help you optimize your health. Because in whatever state you're in, whether you are stricken with an illness or you really want to avoid one, there are certain ways and many ways that you can optimize you. And that's one of the things that I've been passionate about for the last 20 years. As a plastic and reconstructive surgeon, my focus has been on transformation. How do we transform our lives so that we can optimize ourselves, not relying on everybody else, of course, because at the end of the day, you're the one making the decision, or not for that matter. And what you heard today was very insightful. Take control, discover what's out there, tap into this personal development. Don't let other people tell you what to do. And both Pooja and Anastasia are going to leave some specific insights and comments for you. And you can reach out to them. You can also reach out to me at drrademacher.com or my mobile app, The Doctor's Guide. There's a QR link below. But thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Anastasia. And we will be back for more. Just stay tuned in to hear these two cool people go at it in their role playing. Thank you both.
Thank you, Bud.
Thank you, Dr. Bart.